The internet is a genuine challenge and opportunity, and it's also sort of our vision for what the future could be. I feel like we're in a moment of renegotiating what it means to be a user or a citizen or an individual.
Stewardship is typically thought of as an ethic of responsible behavior in an environment of shared resources. It implies acts that go beyond mere self-interest to those that are done for some greater sense of the public good, whatever that may be. However nice it sounds in theory, stewardship always represents the divergence of values and the clashes of interests that make up global society.
There's 4 centers of power in cyberspace: technical, economic, government, and civil society. They don't fit together very well. We have fractured stewardship on the internet.
This is the fundamental challenge of stewardship. What responsibilities do we want to give away to private actors? And what does it mean for the core responsibilities of states?
Governments are going to increasingly get into the act of trying to become international stewards, read regulators, and the less control that they feel, the more they're going to want to assert control, or at least to think they've got control of what's going on out there.
No one is in charge. It's a bit of a hairball the way it is, but it does work. And we're all wondering, now that it's this big world-dominating, commerce-enabling network, should it remain something that no one is in charge of? I would argue yes.
Cyber libertarians would say that this is an ungoverned atmosphere, this is separate from state control, and yet what we've seen is these different actors vying for control and the balkanization of the internet.
– 80% of the internet traffic flows across the conduits of only 20 to 25 companies. And they are, by definition, already the stewards of the internet, whether we've named them that or not.
From an ISP perspective, we're comfortable educating customers. We're comfortable dealing with security threats. Where we're not comfortable is acting as the internet police.
ISPs push back on greater data retention and surveillance because of the cost implications. But as ISPs begin to see the big data opportunity there in terms of market analytics, I'm not so sure they will continue to push back.
We keep circling around what I think is the principal issue, which is there an alternative to states?
Not only is there an alternative, we have to deal with an alternative. We want to have democratic rights, but the democratic rights and due process is based on territorial jurisdictions, and the internet is not territorial.
Once the West could impose global solutions, we can't do that anymore. One of the things we'll need to do is say, what does a global rather than a transatlantic structure look like?
When you're discussing the secure and stable internet with voices that dominate the discussion from this side of the world, I think it's just too easy to put as secondary the basic human rights, freedom of speech issues that are essential and life-giving for people living in places where they're not free.